biggest problem that smaller countries face, obviously, is that they're not economically significant. So the big players don't tend to see them as, let's say, a major priority. So to some extent, they're always a second priority. And of course, that can lead to problems with clearing rights, slow distribution. They don't get the new films fast. And very often when people want to clear rights for a very particular screening, which is really important to them, nobody wants to answer their email. Festivals are becoming really important as a way of distributing films. We used to think that there were festivals and then there was real distribution, but actually that model, I think, is breaking down. Festivals are becoming more and more important, and it's not just vanity, it's a new way of getting films to audiences. And I think we're going to see a real crossover. I think there will be films, there are already films, which don't go into regular distribution, but do show very, very widely in festivals. And the other great thing about festivals is that they're part of a new trend in cinema, which is sometimes called event cinema. A festival is an event. You go to it, you feel part of it. There's sponsorship, there's something happening, there's a buzz about the festival, and that obviously attracts audiences, especially it attracts younger audiences, I think. Well, Creative Europe is a great idea. It's about trying to bring together the different strands of Europe's support for creativity, for the arts, let's call it. In principle, it could mean more working together between people who are currently in theatre, in performance, in film. The danger, of course, is that the money goes to the sexy projects. And I think there's been a lot of anxiety in the film and audiovisual sector about whether this will suck money out of the rather low levels of support that we have at the moment. The message we're getting is that it won't. That Creative Europe is being constructed in such a way that the main lines of support that keep European cinema going are still going to be in place. And I think that's true. I think that we're getting good messages on that. The real question for me is, will it lead to innovation? Will there be a bonus? Or is it just a new brand for doing the same old things? We need those same old things, but at the same time it would be good if we could find ways to, I think, do two things. More collaboration between arts, because that's happening anyway, live music with film, and also more cross-border cooperation. We need more cross-border cooperation. It's an uncomfortable time for a Brit to be talking about the European scene as a whole, because obviously our government, our country, is seen as trying to put a brake, not just put a brake on European spending, but actually cut it back. I think that's part of a big cyclical movement. I think Britain has really always been in that role, and I don't think we should be that surprised. And if you like, it's the stance that every British Prime Minister has had to take since Margaret Thatcher. If they don't, they're going to be accused of being the person who sold Britain down the river. I don't altogether take that too seriously, because I think there are deals being worked out between the big countries and the small countries, and that's really what it's about. The beneficiary countries, the countries that benefit, net beneficiaries of Europe, they know very well that Europe is absolutely vital for doing the things that their domestic governments don't want to do. And of course, they must hang on in there and put pressure on to keep those levels of support going. It's not just a luxury, it's vital. There are countries like Hungary, the smaller countries of Eastern and Central Europe, that absolutely need the small amounts of money that come from Europe. Because remember, a small amount of money from Brussels goes a lot further the further east you go in terms of actually getting benefits on the ground. So for that reason, I think, I don't support what our government is doing at the moment, but neither do I worry too much that it'll carry the day.